Hey, what's up guys, Diplex here again. Welcome back to Star Wars Galaxy at War. Super excited to be back here with the third and final galactic civil war tug of war. Now previously we've had one Rebel victory and one Imperial victory, so this third and deciding round on ENDOR will be the final nail in the coffin before we bury this result, so to speak. Oh, that was very catchy. Sorry for not uploading anything this Friday and Saturday. I do believe I uploaded the Warhammer video this Thursday. I was meant to upload this Friday and have two other brand new, fresh ideas go up yesterday and today, but unfortunately, I played a lot of Escape from Tarkov. I was mad all day yesterday. I had lost a lot of AKs. I even gave an AS Val away as just a kindly gesture to a person who team killed me the day before because I scared him. Like, when you're in a party, when you're playing Escape from Tarkov, you gotta keep it fucking A-level, man. You can't be messing around. That game has got me hooked. I have never ever been so hooked on a first-person shooter before. Ever. I mean, some of the Total War games I've played, and even Men of War, of course, I've been crazy hooked on. But, like, shooters, it's got me. And I want to stream and make more videos in the future, but for some reason, it's not overly appreciated on my channel, even though, despite the fact that it's a freaking fantastic game. But anyway, this is not an Escape from Tarkov rant. This is something else. And also, yesterday, I was team killed in the corridor, like... The funny, okay, I'm not gonna go in. I don't know if anyone here plays Escape from Tarkov, right? We're gonna click start. We're gonna get into this beautiful map here made by Grizzly, and we're gonna start this tug of war. And I can finish the rant, and then we can just spend the remaining hour or however freaking long this battle is gonna be focusing on the actual battle. But so I'm in a corridor with a teammate. His name is Red, okay? And then there's a new player called Caleb. He's at the end of the other corridor, and we tell him like, "Hey, Caleb, we're here. We're looting. Don't shoot us, okay?" And he's like, "All right, I'm back here." And we're like, "Yes, we confirmed that for several minutes. That is a stated fact and a commonly known fact." Then we make our way down the hallway, the same hallway we've always been in and still in vision, and he pops me and he's like, "Well, I thought you were a scout." "No, dude, what the fuck, dude?" And I lost my AKs and everything, like, oh shit. So also the reason why I haven't really been uploading all this weekend is because I've been playing a lot of Escape from Tarkov, and boom, the battle is on and I'm right back in it. I'm right back in it, right in time for the actual firefight. Do you guys think these graphics are cool? You know the thumbnail I'm using right now? Not photoshopped, all post-processed in the game, in the news. Oh man, it's good to be back though. So next week, I'm gonna actually, like get my fat ass and go to the gym, because it gives me energy. Otherwise, when I don't move and I'm not outside that much and I just play, I get really tired, which also adds to no videos. So doing that next week again. And that's never really been a big part of my life or anything, but I usually went before just to get my my exercise and my kind of daily motion, so to speak, because otherwise I would just be at home and make video games. I didn't have a workplace to go to because it was at home, so yeah, that does make sense. Beautiful map, by the way. This used to be ENDOR, but I personally kind of shaved ENDOR a bit. I shaved it down, removed some of the huge trees, and cut it down to a much smaller scale here. So now you can see more of the beauty that Grizzly has created here by just removing a few really scaled up trees. And that's about it. So we have rebels coming in from the left side here. We have the Imperial stormtroopers on the right, but I feel like the stormtroopers are kind of capturing the center now. And also, here's a statement I want to make, and I've been wanting to make this for a long time, and this goes out to everyone out there with Captain Rex on their profile picture claiming to be Star Wars fans. There's nothing wrong with enjoying Captain Rex in his band of 501st, but you're more of a Clone Wars fan than you're a true Star Wars fan. I think a lot of the older people in this audience, and that would include like myself, I'm only 23, but I think out of a general standpoint, that's kind of towards the older ages in this audience, who kind of I didn't even grow up with the original 3 episodes, right? I got into my age of watching Star Wars when episode 3 was more or less released, and I even think episode 1 and 2 I was a little too young for, even at my age. So like, that's kind of what, and I understand that everyone else who's even younger than we're talking like 16, 13, 10, or whatever, how young, I'm not sure who the youngest person is watching this, but I understand if you're more into the Clone Wars because that's more to your time, and also with the cartoon series that came out afterwards, people love clones, which is, it's really shown. All my huge videos, all the huge Star Wars videos I have on my channel are all Clone Wars. So the point I want to make here was, if you guys are interested in more Star Wars tug of wars, if you would like me to only do Clone Wars, we can do that, because we can make some crazy Clone Wars shit come through. We can make our own Clone Wars series. Y'all, everyone out there, me, Grizzly, Mappers, Grumpy, whatever you name it, Mighty, whoever, I don't care. Just the people who are on board for this shit, we can make our own Clone Wars series. Hey, we could even make our own Clone Legion. We could have a regular standard white trooper with a white armor and put our own color coding on it. Like do some like black and yellow or green and white or some cool shit. Like we could do whatever. We can make that come through. Green and yellow is really cool. But anyway, even blue and yellow like a royal trooper would be really cool as well. But anyway, yeah, we could make that happen. So what's the status right now? We got only infantry because ATSTs. Despite the fact that I wanted to have ATSTs on this battle at the start, the AI still don't recognize ATSTs as enemies that you should shoot and destroy. So the ATSTs can wander around and do whatever they want, and I don't think that's fair. Okay, so we have a bit of a ceasefire here on the Imperial side. We got them troops retreating. Oh, how beautiful is this look! I'm blown away. Blow me away. So we're getting some people taking cover here by the boardwalk. A few stormtroopers up here are still being eliminated. Oh, and also, I said something in my Warhammer video this Thursday about salamanders being, like, wiped out, and someone was like, oh, no, that didn't happen. Dude, read their official Wikipedia. They were practically wiped out. They were practically wiped out. During the Battle of Istavan 5, wasn't it? Anyway, this is not a Warhammer discussion. So you can't mix the Star Wars mods with any mods, unfortunately, but you can mix the Call of Duty World War III mod with pretty much every other mod out there. So I would like to do some Born in the Fire, like Napoleonic era versus future modern day soldiers, or even World War II or something. Make more of those crazy battles. Unfortunately, the only one video out of the 2,300 videos, soon to be, that is demonetized officially on my channel is the 7-team free-for-all. No, 10-team free-for-all with World War II, World War III, and Star Wars. And I was like, that's weird, because like all my historical World War II videos are approved and all that. And I'm like, I'm really thankful for that, because it's all history, and also it shouldn't be demonetized in the first place. But it's weird when a fictional video including Star Wars gets demonetized, and it's got like 70K views. So for me as a YouTuber, that's a pretty big deal. The reason all along was that I mentioned the horrible events that took place in the United States a few weeks ago, and I'm not even going to talk about it because I'm afraid that even just mentioning the city itself will just bring me down. And I didn't mention it in a political way. I didn't mention it in a way talking about anything that revolved around it. I just basically said I've been shocked and I'm terrified and I'm petrified by what has occurred, and the fact that despite the fact that I'm on the other side of the world, I'm thinking of everyone there who is affected by it, right? That's all I said. I spoke for 30 seconds about it, and then boom, nope, can't make money off of tragedies. And I'm like, I understand you can't make money off of tragedies, but I kind of wasn't making money off of tragedies there. Like, that's a whole different thing. But anyway, whatever. Let's not get into a further discussion about that, because yeah, that's just gonna start a chain reaction of videos. Then I'll make another one after this one, and I'll explain how I just explained why another video is demonetized, and then the third video will be demonetized for explaining about why I explained that another. Oh, that'd be an interesting chain of events. Okay, back on the track here. I've been ranting because when I don't make a video for a few days, I sit there and I warm up a bunch of things that I want to talk to you about later, kind of like sitting on an egg, and then it hatches when the video comes, and it's just full of little chickens running out at you, and you're not sure how to receive them. So the thing with these tug of wars is that they can last and range from anywhere between 5 minutes to 50 minutes or eternity. What Grizzly has done here is super advanced, and I'm going to show you once the videos in the battle is done. But every 10 men you kill, 10 men is received as reinforcements, which is good, because doing it for every single kill will flood the map, because then you can kill 9 people and get 9 men as reinforcements, and that's a really big advantage instead of getting 0 until you get 10. I think it's better to not get any reinforcements until you reach a level of achievement, which would be 10 kills. So, I mean, if a faction gets 100 kills, they'll get 100 reinforcements, but they have to do that in levels, not per kill. And otherwise, it would be impossible for one side to gain the upper hand, so to speak. I really think that that's an important keynote. So a few rebels are really pushing up the center. We'll see a winner soon. Sooner or later, we'll see a winner. So this is the Imperial side. This is the far back. We got troops up here on the high ground on the right side covering. Oh, these guys are been taking a lot of fire. We have a guy dead up here, but the rest are staying in cover. Okay. The rebel blew to the rebels blew a mass retreat or what? And blew as in, like, you know, you sound the horn. You blew to retreat. I doubt there were any horns that were bugle calls in Star Wars. I like bugle calls. Civil War bugle calls, they're badass. Graphics here, stunning. I love what you can do using the skybox and a few post-processing. Oh, look at that, them running up there. The rebels are advancing. Are we actually getting a rebel push now? All of these soldiers here on the ground are their own little entities, their own little people. It's a beautiful thing to think of. Holy hell! Stormtroopers being put to the retreat here. They're legging it back, man. But where are the rebel presence up here? They're only really in the center, or I can't see them because they're all like green camouflage. Look, there's a scout trooper running back up there. And they're holding the center really well. They got a lot of firepower. Any stormtroopers that challenge these guys in the center ought to be dead. And they're pushing up on the right side. Up on these boardwalks as well. Oh, look at the Imperial stronghold over here. Or not stronghold, but like they're strong holding. They're strong footing. We'll watch them from back here. Look at them just holding out behind here. In cover with their weapons and blasters and their sniper rifles. That scout trooper's a badass. He needs to patch up though. He's been hit. Look at them retreating back there, like running up on the boardwalk, getting in cover. Oh, that is badass. Get back, get back. Sector's taking heavy fire. See, like I mean, I get it. Clone Wars is very cool. The Galactic Civil War to me seemed smaller scale than Clone Wars, and that's the truth. But then again, I do enjoy the fact that the Clone Wars and the amount of planets that were involved isn't at a scale of like fucking Warhammer 40K, like 4,000 planets, 2.8 billion soldiers. It's still within reasonable bounds. It's like it's not a fucking 4,000 planets and 48 billion fleets and 60 gazillion space marines or anything like that, or 2,000 regiments. I mean, it's like, you know, you got your legions, you got your tens and thousands of clone troops and whatnot, but it's like it's somewhat within manageable numbers where 1,000 clones can make a difference, kind of feel, you know? It's at that point. And the Galactic Civil War, to me, despite the fact that the Rebel fleet was strong, the Rebel Alliance had like several planets aligned and whatnot and secured, but I always watched it and I felt like the Rebels were so weak. I always had that idea, and I think movies want to portray them as that. And later, when Rogue One came out and the other Star Wars videos, I felt like, hey, the Rebels are a lot stronger and have a lot more manpower and weaponry and technology than I thought they'd originally have, and I think that's a cool thing. I'm gonna rewatch Rogue One, despite the fact that I dislike all the superfluous, unnecessary, edgy-ass fucking characters that they've added to it. They could have cut down on half of those people, which is funny because they even die at the end of the movie, which really shows how unnecessary they were. I mean, they're just like, with the... I don't know. Don't hate on me. Don't be a fanboy just because you gotta be a fanboy. Be a critic because you're smart enough to consider yourself one. Don't be a fanboy just because you're a fanboy, okay? There's no point in fanboying when there's things that could be said that could improve it. I'm as big a fan of Star Wars as not anyone out there, but as many people out there. And I still think it's right to criticize some of their Disney-ass moves. But then again, I guess it is Disney after all, so... Are the Stormtroopers pushing the Rebels back? Can we have a Rebel victory? Can we recreate the Battle of Endor on a planet that isn't quite like Endor? But it is beautiful, and I guess pretty matters, so... We got some river crawlers here laying it down in the river. The Rebels are putting up one hell of a fight. Are the Stormtroopers retaking this now? Oh, they got pushed back, almost out of existence. And I'd say, oh, they're holding the center here real well. Let's do something cool, because I enjoy doing something cool. No, well, actually, or we could let this tug of war play out, but it'll get slower and slower and laggier, despite the fact that we haven't reached that point yet, but it will, because casualties. Flood the map, and that adds computer effort for everybody that remains on the ground. But the Rebels just received a 10-man reinforcement group, so they're going to be coming in like 3 in the center. I think I saw 3 up here. 3, 3, 4 maybe, who knows. But they just came in, so that's an addition of reinforcements. Imperial firepower has, however, pushed the Rebels back. They've killed them in the center. Oh, this is really cool. When you just zoom out and just get the enjoyment out of the battle at a range like this, you really see what we're talking about here. This is the bread and butter, man. Yeah, the Rebels are being pushed back here on the right side. It's been a gorgeous firefight. A real Star Wars firefight. And let me tell you, we've got a Clone Wars canyon map that Grizzly is making on the way as well. And I'd say Grizzly, like, there's all these mappers, right? And they're all gonna be like fucking, they're all gonna be nutting hearing this, but they've all got their own little specialities, okay? So there's like 4 or 5 mappers I could mention that I know well enough to mention, right? So we've got Grizzly, right? Grizzly I've known for some time now, and his videos or his maps hasn't been all too apparent on my videos. He's more of a mapper philanthropist, kind of like a mapper connoisseur. Like he takes his time, and he does this really out of like a genuine passion in terms of enjoying the creation, not so much getting the workshop rep or being a name in the mapping community. In fact, he doesn't even want to be. So he doesn't really ask anything in return from me. He doesn't need any shoutouts. He just really enjoys what he's doing. He's kind of like not a magician, but a professor, an artist in a way, what he makes, because a lot of his maps aren't always technically insane, but usually in an artist and creative way, very impressive, like many that you'll see later on. There's another guy called Grumpy. He's just balls to the walls insane with some of the stuff he makes. This map has 8,000 assets on it, If Grumpy made this map, it'd have 16,000 assets on it. It's insane with the stamps and everything, like the Dunkirk map he's made. If he can make my PC lag, he has succeeded, because his maps are crazy detailed. He's also a bit of a memester, so he's making a Team 10 mansion map, which will be really cool. Mighty Mapper, of course, really, I'd say probably the powerhouse production mapper. The output of maps he can put out at a high quality is just insane, man. Like, that's why it was a pleasure working with him before, because he could make so many at a really fast rate, and with big variety. So that's just an overall great card to kind of have you're not an ace in everything, but you're an overall extremely good mapper with a perfect mix of speed, detail, and variety and stuff like that. And then there's another mapper I've just gotten in touch with more recently called Sackpack, who I haven't known long enough to get an idea of, but he also seems to be really efficient with coming out. He also seems to be a real go-getter, because I mentioned I'd like a map like Gloucester Hill, and he was on it in a second, and he was like, hey, I'll make even 2 more hills on the side of that he found out. So that's really nice that there's that kind of like reach out ambition. So it's funny. I kind of want to make a team. I'd like to make a team, a paid team of mappers and modders in Men of War, and everything will be free for public, but I'll try and sponsor it with as much as I can do by sharing it online and stuff, and just kind of like make Men of War its own work. Like, make Men of War a genre in itself, not just a game, but a universe of mods, battles, and maps and stuff, which would just be insane. But anyway, back to the Star Wars thing here. See, like, a long-ass battle will give me a lot of time to talk. Oh man, we're getting these... You see, the computer's like starting to go down below the 10s in FPS now. So the trees are starting to act up. So I'm going to just pause this for a second. I'm going to end the recording. I'm recording in MP4, not AVI, because AVI will make it like this file 100 gig afterwards. But I can't recover the corrupted files. And many times I record and you don't see an upload one day. It's because I've had an issue with the recording, and I've just been so out of the mood to redo it. But I'm going to hit that pause button, stop the recording, and re-record, because we're going to do something now that'll definitely change the tide of this battle. And we'll see who takes the advantage. So let's check it out. Again there, that recording is saved. See? Holy moly. Holy goddamn. Mr. Gamby. All right, we're going to... Y'all guys watch any TV shows right now? I was just gonna do an attack move, but something tells me we don't gotta do that. We'll take the Empire and put them on the assault, because they seem to have more numbers on the field. And what I'm doing here, my friends, is nothing more complicated and tricky than a few attack moves. And attack moves is not me controlling the enemy or the stormtroopers in this case. It's me telling the stormtroopers to fire and advance. Fire and advance. To bring the battle forward. Hurrah, hurrah. Or Darth Vader, we will fight today. Hurrah, hurrah. So this won't really do much, except it'll kind of bring the battle forward a little bit. And oh my lord, is them graphics hard. Hard-hitting graphics. So, talking about TV shows, been watching a lot of Vice Principals, and I'm a huge fan of Larry David and his Curb Your Enthusiasm. I think his public commentary, like, it's all just a parody of real life in a way, and society we live in. And I think someone's got to do that. Hey, we're at full speed again, and the Empire and the Stormtroopers have launched a attack. So we got... Why is it in slow motion? I gotta ask you. There we go. I gotta ask. But now we're fine. So I do think that the Stormtroopers outnumbered the Rebels at this point. So I think it's only fair enough for the Rebels to be able to dig it down a little bit and have the Stormtroopers be on the offensive. So we got them Stormtroopers coming up here, engaging. Can I do this? Can I? Is there is F5 the quick key? I do believe it is. There we go. We're pushing the rebels back, sir. We're pushing the rebels back, sir. Except they have that like distorted kind of like really high passed voice that passes through the helmet. No bass whatsoever. Just like a very monotone voice. I bet there's some Audacity filter or something like that you can do to fix that. Holy crap. We're charging forward. We're gonna secure ENDOR. Yeah, the rebels are a bunch of terrorists. Bombing up the Death Star and shit. Why are they the good guys, man? The Empire ain't no dictatorship. Who says that? They're the Empire. I think a lot of people living under the Empire are fine with it, you know? I think a lot are. And it's interesting. I've seen a lot of people afterwards talk about Star Wars and be like, why are the rebels who blew up and killed a bunch of essentially innocent Imperial soldiers and pilots and fighters not considered the heroes? I mean, I think by today's standard, if that happened in real life, media and everyone else would brand them as terrorists, right? Because essentially that's what they would be. For, you know, blowing up the Death Star. But that's all just like fun talk. Oh man, look at the green grass. You gotta love the green grass, man. Rebels back here taking fire. We're taking fire over here. But they're getting reinforcements because I guess they're racking up them kills. Have the Imperials made it any further? Command in the regiment here and battalion or whatever we got. Are there any funny names for were they legions afterwards? Were they legions once the Clone Wars ended, or were they yeah, what were they? Just like battalions, regiments, divisions? Well, what were the stormtrooper sections divided into, so to speak? Because you had legions, and then in the legions, did you have regiments or just battalions, like straight up battalions, like 10 battalions in a legion or something like that? The rebel reinforcements are arriving now. They're getting a counter push here. They're getting a real addition of reinforcements. Oh man. Hello, pretty. Why you look so fine today? I wonder. Always so damn good looking, man. Okay, everyone, sorry about that. The battle made the game crash. You never know with these tug of wars when they're going to stop because they're just kind of like infinite. So they usually do crash the game. But hey, here's a good reason for me to use my brand new fucking $4,000 camera or something like that. This is actually the first time I'm using it and showing the footage on YouTube, which is kind of sad because it's a really good camera and I'm using it for something like this. And I didn't film more, which is why I'm reversing the actual video I just recorded because I'm that professional. I'll see you guys tomorrow, Monday, with a new week, brand new videos. I'm back in it right now. I'm done slacking. I've been playing too much video games on my own without recording. And I think we might actually have to, re-reverse this loop and play the original video again, because I think I might actually go for 3 complete loops now. How bloody professional. Anyway, yes, sorry about that. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I've got a lot of cool things planned. They're just taking a little while to get going, so I'll see you guys soon again. Ciao.